Om Namah Shivaya. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Pundarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya madhye vishadam vishokam achintyam avyaktam anantarupam shivam prashantam amritam brahmayonim tamadimatyanta vihinamekam vibhum chidanandarupam adbhutam. So as we said before, that even though the self means you. We talk about self as a third party. Self, somewhere else. Self means you. So you are basically attribute free. Because remember, I think that, so this is a very good starting point of contemplation. Starting point and ending point. You start with it, and you can go around anything you want to, but you'll come back to the same place. Which is what Swami Viditatmananda was talking about in the satsang. Very important, very simple thing to do, but this is where that story about that man who wanted to have a medicine which is known to cure his disease. And it's a very simple thing. He can just go to the local shop and buy it. But he didn't think it was that simple because somebody had told him that it was imported from Russia. So you had to go through this rigmarole to prove. So similarly, it's a very simple thing. As all the acharyas say this, Swami Maheshanand, Swami Akhandananda, all Swami Dayananda, everybody, that once you understand, you say, how could I miss it? This is the only thing that you can never miss. And Swami Akhandananda is the one who really just articulates it so well. He says, let me ask you something. He says, can you ever miss yourself? So the only thing is that you say, no, but so what? If I don't miss myself, I'm still a kind of an unhappy, changing person. That is the issue. Please separate that you can never miss yourself from the unhappiness and the other things that you put on yourself. This is viveka. This is what needs to be done. It's a very simple thing. So going back to what I was saying, that Swami Viditatmananda gave you the excellent keys to understanding yourself. Excellent keys. And those were, if you recall, and I'm reminding you of that because it was done to you. You were here, you heard it directly from him. Not from books and somebody said this, and this is the issue. Why we need a guru is because our mind, when it follows a text or some recording of some guru, even some, especially if a recording of a guru that you have never met. It's another thing that I'm hoping, I don't know for a fact, that some of the students that have known me personally can now enjoy my YouTube videos because they can really see me the way they saw me before. But if you've never seen somebody and you still see the video, it doesn't have the same effect. So it is not something that was not communicated to you. And I hope you could see this very clearly, as Swamiji had pointed out. What he said was, all changes depend upon the unchanging. Very simple fact, that's it. One should just walk out after that. And the only unchanging vastu is you. You are the one that is always there. Is there anything else that is always there? No. Everything else keeps changing. And our Shastra says even the concept of Ishvara. Because right now we say, I'm just nothing, I'm just a small person. Bhagavan, Ishvara, Parameshvara, Paramatma, Shiva, those are big people. I don't know how to approach them. I guess I'll have to do a lot of puja. Somehow if I keep on doing this, somehow Dakshinamurti will appear in Brahma. We have all those ideas. But consider this, in the filter of what is Sat and what is Asat, Swami Akhandandaji uses the word Kalpita. Beautiful word. When we unfold this, you will see how important this word is. Kalpita. Kalpita means postulated, imagined. Kalpana, the object of kalpana, kalpita. So the concept of Ishvara also is kalpita, isn't it? It's kalpita. And then you have to support it with logic, with inference. It is not pratyaksha. You don't have that in front of your eyes. And if it is not in front of your eyes, you cannot do anumana. All the inferences, all the anumana, it depends upon pratyaksha. See, if Ishvara was here in front of you, then you can say he's now gone. I think he is visiting India. He's not here at the moment. So you could do those kinds of kalpanas. But there was never a pratyaksha in any way, so none of the pramanas really help. Because if we do the analysis of the various ways of proving, because really all we are looking in our life is proof. We're looking for proof, really. If somebody can convince me of something, I'm willing to listen. Somebody needs to prove it to me. We have complete faith, complete shraddha in pramanam. What our eyes can see, eyes are the best pramanam for seeing things. Nothing else is possible. So we're looking for pramana. So in this analysis, you cannot even put the presence of Ishvara against the presence of yourself. You are not kalpita. What you are kalpita is the attributes that you put on yourself. Those are kalpita. But that you are doesn't require any pramana. Doesn't require any pramana. because it is a siddha vastu. It is not a sadhya vastu. Akhandananda ji makes this very, very emphatically clear. He says, my God, I have met a variety of people in my life. Some who are just some simple folks that have not looked into the Shastra. They've never had a chance to really study Vedanta or any kind of a thing. They're just simple folks that hopefully have some shraddha in doing puja and stuff like that. That's how I've met them. Then he says, I've met so many scholars who have been studying. And they have accomplished a lot. They are shastragyaha, shotriyaha, but they are not brahmanishtaha. Why? Because they also think that somehow what you're looking for is also kalpitaha. It's someday something will happen to me when I will be fulfilled. It is the wrong path. Because the right path is you are already there. You are. You cannot change yourself. There's no reason to change yourself. The only reason to change yourself is stop putting attributes on yourself. That's it. Swamiji's message was very clear. He says that all changes must require a changeless. This is a very profound statement. Number one. Number two, the only thing that does not change is you. Again, when I point out the finger to you, I don't mean you as a jiva, but you as a jivatma. That is what doesn't change at all. And so it's a very, as I said before, all the Mahatmas say this, that once you understand this, you say, how could I miss it? My God, I am there all the time. And I belittled myself. The one thing which is unique, the only thing which is unique, which is independent of time is you. Think about that. Is you. You as you are, always have been, always will be. No question of changing, no possibility of change. You as the very basis of all changes, adhisthana of all changes. That is the very simple message. And all these other things that we talk about the Atma here in the verse 6 and 7 and so on, is only because our minds are so colored by the opposite experiences that those colors have to be removed. That's it. Those have to be just taken away. You don't have to be produced. In fact, it's very interesting. Swami Akhandananda says this in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya talks, because he has a lot of audio talks, and I've been listening to that also, and also looking at the books for Brahma Sutra. And so there is a, there are two sections of there's several sections of inquiry into the Shastra. One section talks about pramana vichara, and one section talks about prameya vichara. The difference is pramana vichara goes into mimamsa. This is called mimamsa. Vichara or mimamsa, pretty much the same thing. Analysis. How do I know? A very important thing. How can I know this? How can I know anything? So here there is a school of thought called Naiyayikas, Nyaya, and Vaisheshika. So there are these two schools of thought that are sister thoughts. Here the Naiyayikas specialized in Pramana Vichara and Vaisheshikas specialized in Prameya Vichara. So Pramana Vichara means, how do I know? Pramana means ways of knowing. Like knowing that there are some rupa, there's some forms. Eyes are the only pramana for knowing that. There's nothing else works. Nothing else works. You cannot listen, you cannot see through your ears. Not possible. Very carefully done by Ishvara. Everything has its, there is a, what is called abadhita. Abadhita means that cannot be negated. This law is always there. It's not like in one yuga, ears can see things. No. Ears can only listen, eyes can only see. So this is all pramana. So the question is, how do I know myself? You say that I don't know myself. How do I know it? So here, all the Mahatmas, because I see Swami Akhandananda, not only, this is what I find unique about his teaching, I really enjoy that very much. Not only does he give his own experience, but he explicitly expresses the opinions of many Mahatmas that he has seen. Because we all have a doubt, maybe this is unique to this one gentleman or one lady. This is repeatedly said. That makes your mind completely at ease. Yes, this is what I need to do. So what he said was, in terms of the pramana vichara, is that generally, see that's the one, so hold that thought for a minute. Let me give you another thought, then I'll combine them together. There's another thought which says, well, Shastra says this. It may be opposite to what the Shastra says, all the Upanishads and so on. But what is pointed out is what the Shastra says depends upon what you can understand. So this is the Karma Yoga part where the Krishna reveals the self, but he knows that Arjuna is not ready for it. So then he comes down to at the level of Karma Yoga. So similarly, the Shastra can say something which is negated at a higher level. An example is, Shastra says there is actually a creation. There is a creation. And that way I feel very good, because I also see a creation, a lot of changes, a lot of specifics. And the Shastra says, yes, of course. This is false. There is no creation. If you want to call dream a creation, you can call dream a creation. There is an apparent creation. In reality, there is no creation. Things never began, they will never end, they will always be like this. They will be only in the form of observed and observer. And all you need to do is, if you keep on focusing on the observed, you're in trouble. If you focus on the observer, you're on the right path. That's all that happens. If you know the reality of Parameshwara, you're done. If you want to know the reality of the Jagat, how many galaxies there are, you're in big trouble. You'll never end. Anytime there is a discovery of some new galaxies, that's only temporary. There'll be some more discoveries after that, more black holes. So the feeling that somehow the science is going to discover the reality of this is what happens. It's so funny to see this. The scientists are all busy to see the origin of this is going to come in this verse, the origin of the universe. So they're all looking for the origin of the universe. Okay, all right. This is nice. This is a nice excuse to get some PhDs, to get some money from the government, and we are the ones who are paying it. You and I, our taxes, especially those of us that live in California, you know, our average California taxes are close to 60%. It's just incredible. And so all these idle things about looking for the origin of the universe, we are paying for it. It's coming out of your pocket. It's never going to end. So the Shastra also says, at first it says there is a Srishti. Then it says, by the way, forget about it. There is no Srishti. That was just a undergraduate course. The graduate courses, there is no Srishti. So that's the second part. So now we put the two together, Pramana Vichara and what the Shastra says. Here are the things. What the Mahatmas say is that what the traditional view of the Shastra, not any Purva Paksha, we are talking about our own Shastra. What the Shastra says is that words are the pramana. For what? Words are the pramana for showing the Atma, for understanding the Atma. It cannot be understood without words. They are like the 10th man. See, 10th man is a very beautiful example, very important example, not just beautiful, very important, profound example. That fellow, unless somebody would tell him, you made the mistake, you are the 10th man. He's going to keep searching. Where is he gone? He's going to go down the river. Where the more you search, the more lost you become. You are the very one person who's searching. Meditation on the meditator. So the Shastra says that words are the pramana. Okay, this is what it says. The Mahatmas say, not really. What? Not really. How? What they say is, it's not as though the Shastra creates the Atma. It does not even reveal the Atma. Nothing, it does nothing at all. Then, how can you then, am I wasting my time reading the Shastra? No. What the Shastra does is to remove your mistake. That's a very different thing. All it does is to convert the apparent reality, all it does is to convert the reality that you conclude into mithya. That really what you see is nothing but yourself, as we will proceed to see this in the next couple of classes and conclude with the meditation tomorrow, that what you see is really yourself. It is not any different. In fact, it will come very quickly. So, the Mahatmas say that you are already what you are. And all that needs to be done is to remove the mistake about yourself. You don't create yourself. You don't even reveal yourself. You are already there. This is I was saying when we were talking to Swami Dayanand Ji, how does it feel? You feel foolish. I'm bothering everybody. I'm okay. I always was okay and I pretended I was not. So that's the thing. So anyway, going back to the simplicity of it is that really speaking, I would say this. I will go on to make this statement. Swami Viditatmananda on the satsang, by chance, just as how it happened. He was probably not even planning to do it. But he spoke Mahavakya to you. He revealed your own self very clearly, if you understand it. And by saying that every change depends on the changeless, number one. And there cannot be another changeless person other than you. If you just meditate on that, contemplate on that, you don't need these other things about Hrit Pundarikam, Virajam Vishokam, as we will see all this. This is a very, this comes back to that thing I was talking about this guy needing your medicine. Available in the local shop, but there is an elaborate setup required to convince him. Very similar to that is, this is exactly what is happening. No, I cannot be that simple. It is that simple. But my mind is so entangled in non-truth that I have to dismantle the non-truth one at a time. It's almost like, layers that are covering me. Every thought that I have every wrong thought that I have about myself is a covering of sorts. And this is also done in the Taittiriya Upaniṣad, the Panchakosha Viveka. So in Taittiriya Upaniṣad, each kosha is kind of like a layer. That also is a very beautiful analysis. That somehow we'll need to find time to look into that. So Annamaya Kosha. See, this is the thing. I can give you a quick example of that. So Annamaya Kosha means, as we said, you are not the body. You are the indweller of the body. So if that's the case, then Annamaya Kosha has been dismantled. That layer of covering is now gone. Then we go to Pranamaya Kosha, same way. And that I am someone who is, I may not be the body, but I'm someone who is alive. Pranamaya Kosha means the covering that I'm a live person. I'm a live person. You distinguish yourself from the table and say the table is inert, but I'm alive. That also is a kosha. You're not alive. You never were dead anyway. How you're not alive? So that analysis removes pranamaya kosha. When you say I am the manomaya kosha, another covering, we can explain why you're not the manomaya kosha. That covering gets removed. Finally, the most subtle and the most damaging, persistent, stubborn kosha, covering, is I am someone. I'm somebody specific. Means limited person, not the total person. That is difficult to dismantle. Because I don't want to give up myself. You feel like I'll be gone. How can I? And then it is against your daily experience. I cannot be gone. I am. The problem is that I am is okay, but you never look at I am purely. This is what is called Vishuddham. Vishuddham, which is a pure I am. You never make it a pure I am. You always say I am someone. That is the issue. That's not true. Even though there are hints given in the middle of the night that you are still are without having this, I am this person. But I don't take that hint. I just ignore it. That's just night time. The main thing is during the day, who am I? So the I thought, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, is the subtlest of them all and the most difficult to remove, but removable. Whether it is difficult or easy, it doesn't make any difference. That's a different thing altogether. But there's no reality to it. So that's how the analysis has to be done. And so all we said was that because my mind has so many different obstacles, so many koshas, so many excuses. No, how can you say that? How can you say that? This is me. So those are removed one by one. But really speaking, if you map these attributes that we are going to talk about to very simple messages, they all map very well. So the simple message, you are the unchanging. Don't you see? You are the unchanging. And all changes are happening on you. You don't unchange at all. When you were young, it was you. When you were a child, you were you. You. Same person, not a different person. So they all map very well. Let me give you one example. I'm going to go out of sequence. So he says, Tam adi madhya anta vihinam ekam. Just look at that. Just beautiful. Tam, this is the towards the end of the verse number 6. And in fact, on the back page it becomes verse number 7. Tam adi madhya anta vihinam ekam. What it says is, you are devoid of beginning, middle, and end. Very simple thing to see. That in terms of the examples of who you are, the beginning, middle, and the end belongs to Deha, Manaha, not to the Atma. The beginning, middle, and end of ornaments belongs to the ornamental form, name and form, Namarupa, not to the clay, not to the gold that it is made out of. Gold does not have a beginning. So this is exactly what it is. Please see this, that you are the same person that never had. So we imagine, you see, so then the question is, oh, wait a second, that's not my experience. Well, the fact of the matter is that your experience is false. Just like the sun rising is a false experience. What can we do about it? If you want to hang on to it, by all means hang on to this stupidity. But that's not the case. You were never born. When the hospital gives you this certificate, and then it is given to all the astrologers, what time you were born. You know, this is the thing, we celebrate birthdays. So it's kind of like putting the nail on the coffin even more nails in the same coffin, really speaking, because already you are, especially for the Vedantins, The Vedantins are told you are never born. You cannot have a birthday if you were never born. But, now my wife was talking about that just in a couple of days. Nowadays, somehow, it's just the social. We have a niece who's 5 years old, and they had a graduation for her where she's wearing a gown, and there is a great ceremony. People are invited, ice creams are given, and so on and so forth. For this 5-year-old, we have a niece called Zara. Little girl just born yesterday, really speaking. So everybody was invited to the graduation. In the old days, I remember, we never used to celebrate birthdays. There was no celebration of birthdays. Really, I'm telling you, when I was in Amritsar, they will acknowledge, oh, today is such and such day, this is your birthday today. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, congratulations, good, good, good. We love you, love you. That was then. Nowadays, oh my God, people they probably go to Italy to celebrate their birthdays, and they invite everybody. And so this is another nail in the coffin. If you had any doubts that you were birthless, that will be gone by the end of this ceremony. You will say, oh, I was. You look forward to the next birthday, and you are afraid of the birthday stopping. Tamadi madhya anta vihinam ekam. You are the same person who is having birthday. Same person who was there even before. This is a birthday in this life. What about the other birthdays? You had probably millions of birthdays. Congratulations, wonderful. I don't know how many ice creams you've had. Nothing to do with this. So this is the thing, that all changes are based on the adhisthana of the changeless. You are the changeless, but you think you are the changing. So this is a maps very well. This is what I'm saying, that really just a simple statement by an acharya. I'm happy that it was Swami Viditatmananda, who looks a little bit more believable than I do, told you this. If I told you that, you'll say, I don't know about this. I have to check with these Swamis to see. So that was good that he himself came and said, my God, don't you see that all changes require changeless? And don't you see that you are the only possibility of a changeless? This is a very important thing. Even Ishvara is kalpita. Because you can see this, that Ishvara also means that in my mind, because everything is a locus based on you, in your mind, at one time Ishvara was not there, another time it is there. It is kalpita. But you can never dismiss yourself. See this beautiful distinction. This is a very important distinction. You don't need a pramana. So this is why Swami Akhandananda says that even Shastra is not a pramana for Atma Vidya. No. It is simply a pramana because the Atma doesn't need a pramana. You are what you are, independent of anything. And what the Shastra does is to remove your misconception about yourself. That's all it does. It's already there. Very simple. Then, I'm just going some ideas. Avyaktam. Very beautiful word. Avyaktam means what? Avyaktam means not manifest. not manifest. You don't need to be manifest. And you cannot be manifest, both of them. You don't need to be manifest. You are already there. So this is what is called Lakshyartha. We make this distinction between Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. Vachyartha means directly showing something. This is a clay pot, is a Vachyartha. Okay? So everything, so if I say to you, to a particular person, can you please come here? This is a Vachyartha. Vachyartha means my finger or my voice or my identification refers to your body-mind complex. I see you with a form and I have some request from you. I can say, I need a glass of water. Can you please get me a glass of water? This is called Vachyartha. So when I say you, this is called Tvam-pada Vachya. Okay? But there is a Tvam-pada Lakshyartha. That means it is indirectly indicated because you are not there. Fact of the matter is, you are me. We have the same conscious, we are the same conscious jnanam. I know, I am. It is the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere. You cannot have without even. So this is one of the questions that was raised, that an animal has Atma. The Atma is present everywhere. Whether you are an animal, you are a man or a woman, that's just an expression of the Atma. You cannot be without the Atma. This is Paramatma. This is what is called Vibhum. No, not Vibhum, sorry. Sarva-vyapanam. Yeah, Sarva-vyapanam, somewhere it is. It's the same everywhere. So the Lakshyartha of you the real you cannot be pointed out by fingers. Cannot be done because it is everywhere. It is at all possible situations. You and I are exactly the same Atma. There's no difference whatsoever. So how am I going to point it out to you? So, the Atma is avyakta. It is non-manifest. This is a very important, interesting thing to see. We only want to prove vyakta vastu, something which is manifest. Right? We can only deal with things that are manifest. Even ideas that could be manifest, they are not there today, but some kind of an idea that is also manifestable. Manifest. This is how we deal with. All the attributes are only manifestable. There's nothing else that you can do. And so, if something is not visible to me, I don't pay any attention to it. This is a very beautiful statement in the Upaniṣad. It's called Vidita Aviditat Adhi. Vidita Aviditat Adhi means Atma. Beautiful statement. Wow. Atma is neither Vidita. This is interesting. Swamiji's name. Vidita Atmananda. That's a different Vidita. I can talk about that in a minute. So it's not like I'm disparaging his name, no. Anyway, going back to the Kena Upanishad, Atma is not Vidita. Vidita means directly known as an object. So we are only used to seeing things that are Vidita. So anything that is not directly known must be unknown. Right? There's only two things. Either something is known or it is unknown. And if it is not known, then it must be unknown. And not only unknown, unknowable. Because you can ask somebody, can you ever show me the Atma? You keep talking about it, etc., etc. Swami Viditatmananda was saying, and this was really a interesting confirmation. He says, so Swami Viditatmananda took the same course that I did, but one time before that. So he was in Sandipani in Mumbai. So our course was in 79, and his course was a couple of years before that. So he's senior to me in that sense. Even otherwise, he's a little older than me. But so he used to say this. He says, Swami Dayanand said the following. The first day he said, I'm going to talk about the Atma. And let me tell you something. In the hundreds of classes, I'm just going to talk about the same thing over and over again. So don't get tired of it, okay? So this is exactly what our experience was too. It was so funny. We had in the PRC course, we had our two sons with us. And the older one was 10 and the younger one was 4. And and then there were other couple of other kids. So our son was the oldest out of the 4 kids, 10-year-old. 10-year-old means that you can start to understand. So we thought that, it'll be nice if we can have private lessons with Swami Dayanand. Because we used to live right next to him for 2 years. So Swamiji said, that's a good idea. So he started having some lessons with Sanjay. And I never really asked him exactly what was talked about or anything, but it's just some simple things. Towards the end of the course, it was so funny one time. In the general satsang, Sanjay asked Swamiji, this is like 2 years of talking and so on. Swamiji, you keep talking about Atma and Atma and Atma. Where is the Atma? I don't see it. I just put my face down like this. That's very natural. So, whatever is not Vidita must be Avidita. No, Atma is not even Avidita. It is the only thing in the whole creation which is neither Vidita but not known, neither unknown. That is amazing. How can be something which is neither known nor unknown? Because you don't need to know it. You are what you are. That is the thing. It is above avidita, aviditat, adhi. Adhi. Anyway, going back to Swami Viditatmananda's name, so Vidita Atmananda. So that means that I know who I am. It's not as an object, but I know what I am. This whole dialogue about not knowing, knowing, etc., it's a very beautiful segment of Keno Upanishad. We did that some couple of years back, and culminates in a very important word, pratibodha viditam matam, pratibodha viditam matam, amritatvam hi vindate. It's Mahavakya. What it says is, if you see, I am always there in all my experiences as a constant entity, you're done. You have reached moksha. If you understand this, but we fight against it. No, how can I be unchanging? See, I'm changing. You are not changing, you are watching the changes, my dear. You're not changing. No. This is what happens. This is what how our mind works. We keep fighting it, keep fighting it, etc. So this is captured in the word avyaktam. I'll just in a few minutes take up another word. I'm just doing it somewhat randomly, but Vishuddham. Vishuddham means totally pure. Totally pure. How can I be totally pure? If you tell me that I'm partially pure, I think I can accept it. But how can I be totally pure? So, in the first verse of the Dakshinamurti Stotram, which we chant, Shuddhatmaji chants the one verse out of the, in the morning session, if you notice, the Dakshinamurti Stotram, and we have taught it in our classes a couple of times actually. Beautiful composition by Adi Shankara. The first verse of Dakshinamurti Stotram saying, Vishvam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyanat Mani Mayaya Bahirivot Bhutam Yatha Nidraya Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanamevadvayam Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye. Of course. And I tell you, I was very, very privileged to study this and think about it a lot. And then we also got confirmation from the teachings of the Mahatmas, including Swami Akhandanandaji's commentary on it and so on. And here's the essence of it. Vishuddham, that's the word that I'm unfolding. How can it be tainted? It can also, a sister word of that is asanga. Means that there is no connection. Asanga. Vishuddha is asanga. Asanga is Vishuddha. Pure, untainted. You can even say virajam, which is not possible to be contaminated. This first verse of Dakshinamurti Stotram reveals that in a very beautiful way. What it says is the following. He says, consider a mirror. which is situated in the outside of a home, let's say. In India that is done veranda. So my wife's family in Firozpur has a house that has a veranda. And veranda means it's a covered patio. And typically on the covered patio you would have some mirrors, some pictures. But let's say you have a mirror. If you look into the mirror, you will see the reflection of what is going what is going out around outside it, isn't it? There are people walking, dogs barking, things being carried back and forth. All is there on the mirror, exactly as it is outside. No, if the mirror is a good mirror, it is a beautiful reflection of the world outside. No changes whatsoever. Does the pictures that you see on the mirror leave a mark on the mirror? It's an amazing thing. In one moment, the mirror seems to be embedded with all kinds of things going there. And in the next minute, it is pure, has absolutely no connection to all the pictures and so on. This is called Vishuddham, Asangam. When that became clear to me, I tell you, the word Asanga finally revealed its beauty to me. So Vishuddham. So we'll continue. I would now close this class, but I request you to stay for a few minutes for a person that will address you for a few minutes about a topic about this ashram, and she'll take a few minutes and then we will go to the puja. So, this ashram is very dear to me as well. We have, but she wants to tell you something about it and request you to think about it. So I invite her. Please, Indra, please come. So let me say a prayer. Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya, om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate, purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate, om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi